A pediatrician wants to determine the relationship that may exist between a child's height and head circumference. She randomly selects 8 children, measures their height and head circumference, and obtains the data shown in the table. So part A, if the pediatrician wants to use height to predict head circumference, determine which variable is the explanatory variable and which is the response variable. So we want height to be able to explain head circumference, so the explanatory variable is height. Response variable is head circumference. So just sort of imagine she measures the height and she can sort of predict what the head circumference is, the response variable. Now let's draw a scattergram of the data. Now you could probably kind of blow each one of these up and look at each one of these. I'm just going to show you how to use StatCrunch because when we have big data sets, you'll want to know how to do that. We're going to click this button and open in StatCrunch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to scatterplot. So remember, x variable is the explanatory variable, so that is the height, and the y is the response, which is head circumference. And we're just going to go ahead and take the default, see what it looks like. Okay. Now, one thing you sometimes have to do is you have to match up what their x and y axes are. So it looks like all of these are from about 17 to about 17.6 and then 25 to 28. Let's take a look at this. Well, actually, it sort of depends. So we want to make sure definitely that we have height here on the x and head circumference here on the y. So it looks like that's what they're sort of drilling into. So we know it can't be B. It looks like A is the contender here. The shape looks the same. Just making sure I'm not being fooled by something. Let's look at the other ones. We know, again, we know height is the x, so we know it can't be B or C. Let's take a look at, and that's not what the shape of D looks like, right? So if I look at my graph, I've got these two values here, which matches up with A, so it's got to be A. All right, hope that helps.